you would not buy it.
No.
We make the pure white coffee filters, and I know that Melita is one of the biggest customers to St. Francisville. Beautiful operation. As a matter of fact, by the time the show will air, I will have come back from a wonderful week in St. Francisville.
And everybody drinks coffee, like you said, so that's something that is a major supplier.
Of course.
Of course.
that basically covers what Tembec is all about today.
Okay, Wayne just checked the coffee filters. Okay, so that we did 51 meals that you just covered in. I couldn't have done it. I would have had to read it off of paper. So obviously your experience behind you is showing, because you went through them like nothing. There's a lot out there, and it seems like we're going to be probably buying more, as you said earlier, expanding. Expanding is good. So people, just so you're aware that we're not just little areas. We've expanded all across Canada, from east to west, north to south. We're into the States. We're into France. I mean, I think we've gone quite a ways in areas. It's incredible how much we've grown. I
think if one of the things that we've done too, we've been very successful at doing, is buying mills in difficulty, communities in difficulty, and bringing them back. I mean, Crestbrook Forest Industries in the East Kootenays was going bankrupt.
Okay.
And basically we saved them, we helped save them. I mean, it's the people in the mills that make the difference.
That's true.
However, I think our management style, the philosophy that we have, gets people involved. And when people get involved, it's amazing how you can turn it around.
I believe that. There's so much information technology has changed drastically and has improved a great deal. How much of it has Tembec really put into? I know, like, they have video conferencing, which maybe a lot of people don't know about video conferencing, and you can explain it, Charlie. It's one of the handiest things you can have to conduct a meeting. Do you want to elaborate on the?
Yeah, I think first of all, in the area of information technology, I mean, Jacques Rochon probably would be the guy that could really do a show about what we're spending and how advanced Tembec is. I mean, even though we have a long way to go, we're a fairly advanced, or we say a wired company. The example that you utilize as video conferencing is a perfect example. I mean, I utilize it for meeting with people in Toronto and Montreal and other areas. I save, airfare, hotel fares, meals. I save my own time. Terry Kavanagh is, who heads the whole pulp group, is probably the biggest user of video conferencing. I mean, almost every Monday morning, he has the video conferencing room booked, and he has meetings with all of his general managers all across Canada and in France.
And he doesn't even have to move.
He doesn't have to move.
No.
And you can use, we have different tools that we can use to show something more in detail and that type of stuff. And I find that if you really look, it's a little bit like looking at the TV. It's active, and so it's video conferencing is very interactive. Right. So if you're talking to somebody in Montreal or Toronto or France for that matter, you're seeing the person, you're seeing their eyes, you're seeing their reactions. It's the closest thing that you have to being really there. Okay. And I think it's a great time-saving and money-saving tool. And
I believe it.
We know these days and times we have to save money.
That's true. That's true. I say we because I'm referring to Tembec again. Tembec has a web page, do they not? What is the web page of Tembec?
www.tembec.ca or .com.
How convenient.
And it's amazing the number of people that don't know our web page exists, or just used to go on the former web page. Then we have a new web page since about January 25th. We spent a lot of money, and Martin Simard in my department worked tremendously of putting this new web page together with specialists that we have. I think people should go on and look at it, because there's a tremendous amount of information on Tembec. I mean, everything that you can think about, you can go into product specifications, are on that website. It's interactive, it's fast if you have high-speed internet. If you're not, it's a little bit slower. But people can actually go into the website. Under Investor Relations, they're going to see live webcasts.
Okay.
And under live webcasts, you can punch in there, and you can go to the annual shareholders meeting that was held on January 25th and see the presentations that were made by Frank Dettori, each one of the group heads, basically see the presentations that we make to our shareholders in Montreal.
Okay. I have to comment to you about the webpage. My brother-in-law looked it up in Toronto, and he deals with computers, builds up computers, very high tech into information technology, and he was very, very impressed with the website. Very impressed. He said, I couldn't believe the amount of information, the details that were given. He couldn't believe it. So, and he's in Toronto. I had mentioned to him about the webpage, and he said he just couldn't believe the ample information that was there. So that's a good thing.
That's
I mean, it's
very
there
good.
for the public.
And there's going to be more. We intend on improving it.
Okay. Charlie, I brought a sample here today. This is, maybe you can explain this. It's the magazine that comes out by Entre Nous.
This is part of the things, some of the things, that we do at corporate relations. A lot of people sometimes, ask me, what does corporate relations do? And I like to explain it because one of the reasons that we call it corporate relations is because most companies have VP of communications or public affairs or whatever. We get involved, and specifically myself. Basically, my mandate is to protect and enhance the Tembec culture, management philosophy, and assure application of its policies and its image. So basically, it means all internal, external relations. So you do investor relations, some government relations, corporate communications, to which Entre Nous forms part of, public relations, and then there's a whole culture aspect and integration of acquisitions and so on. So it's a much broader scope than elsewhere. This year we produce quarterly. We were a little bit late this time, which we're not perfect, it happens. But Entre Nous, what we attempt to do with this internal newspaper is to give our employees a good feel of what's happening throughout the company.
Which is great.
And I can tell you in France, the employees, their comments when we gave them their first edition of Entre Nous was amazing. They said, when you say Tembec, a company of people building their own future, they said your newspaper reflects that. And I thought, gee, that's good, because that's what we want to do.
That's right.
Because a company is not bricks and mortars. A company is people. And so in Entre Nous, we try to do that. Plus, we use our own products. And as you can see here, we have this is produced on St. Francisville paper.
Which is great. There's a lot of good, interesting things in there because they talk about the environment, they talk about safety, the mills of what their statistics are if they've overcome a safety period. I think it's very informative, and it's nice to have. As an employee myself, I think it's a great information piece in regards to a lot of the mills, a lot of the areas.
We try to cover all of that, and plus we put emphasis too on our retired employees. I think it's important for people to know the people that have contributed to the success of the company.
Okay.
I strongly believe in that because I'm going to be there someday.
That's true. We all will be. we're all getting older. We must face it. Charlie, with all this talk about Tembec, just to get a little away from it, I mean, you're on the road constantly. When do you have time to visit your grandson? Congratulations on that. But you have a grandchild, and when do you have time to visit him?
I have a wonderful granddaughter, Sylvie, my oldest daughter, and I think people who have heard her sing here in town before, she was my singer. I always said, my oldest, my singer. She got a lovely 9-pound girl, and so she lives up in Ville-Marie. Okay. So what I do is I maximize my time. So if I'm traveling up north, I stop by.
And there you go.
Rock my grandchild a little bit. I also have another daughter and a son, so, Mélanie and Philippe. Mélanie, as a matter of fact, is graduating in May in industrial electronics, the only girl. Quite proud of that.
That for sure.
And she's coming to work for Tembec, which I'm very pleased.
Okay.
She's also engaged to a young lad that's pursuing his studies in engineering at University of Quebec in Abitibi-Témiscamingue.
Okay.
And he will become also a Tembec employee. He wants to become a Tembec employee. We need engineers. So I told Frank, when I retire, I'm going to leave some intellectual capital in my place.
There you go.
And my son, well, that's to be determined.
There you go, there you go.
He's the youngest of the lad. But I think I have a very, very understanding family. My wife, Jeanette, most people who have taken some form of aerobics or step aerobics knew her. She's a wonderful lady, and she's contributed greatly to our success. And it's a family thing. It's done together, and when we're together, I'm at home. I'm
there
with them.
You go.
So.
And I owe you an apology. I said grandson, but it's a granddaughter. My apologies. Sorry about that. Well, do you have anything else that you want to emphasize with the people watching at home about Tembec?
No, I think, I say to people at home, go to our webpage. I mean, I think we have a lot of information. And if there are things that you want to know, because sometimes I hear rumors, Tembec does this or Tembec does that or it pollutes. Come and find out. Come and see us. We're very open. We're very honest. We're going to tell you the truth. When we do so, we're not perfect.
No one
we're
is.
by far not perfect, but we damn well try hard to be. And, it just takes a phone call. And we're going to be more than happy to tell people what's going on.
Well, that's fantastic. Charlie, I would like to thank you for taking your time out of your schedule to come on Channel 13 to talk about it. I strongly believe in it for the fact that this is our hometown. We're fortunate to have the mill here. And it's really nice to emphasize on what is actually being done around the world, which is great, but it's in our hometown that publicity is as important elsewhere as it is here.
Well, I thank you for inviting me because I do go everywhere else and I talk about the company and what we're doing and and when you invited me I said, gee, we don't do this enough at home. And so
I agree.
I'm more than happy at any time to be here and talk about Tembec, a company that I believe in.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This has been a very interesting show tonight, and it's going to be one of many shows that we're going to have in regards to Tembec. We're going to either try to get on the site to see some of the products. Charlie is going to be, or should I say, sorry, Mr. Gagnard will be back onto the show to talk about future subjects in between his schedule. So stay tuned to Channel 13. Future issues of Tembec will be shown. Thank you for watching Channel 13.